You know, it was a fight to the finish last night during the presidential debate. Here are our three questions for the scorecard, okay? Who won for stage presence? This was a different kind of setup. Who was the most engaging with the audience, who was right there in the studio, and the audience at home? Who actually answered instead of dodging the questions? Jason Johnson is the scorer for this time, and he is a political science professor, but he is also someone who's consulted for both sides. Okay, so this was a different kind of format where you could get up and get toward your candidate, get toward your opponent if you wanted to, sit down if you wanted to. Sometimes I wasn't sure if they were going to stand up or sit down or what.
Yeah, or if they were going to box. I mean, like, it was a real sort of like Star Trek cage match thing going on. I think Obama was much better on stage presence, and I was surprised, given how well Romney did the first time. Romney started off great, but the moment Obama approached him around the second question, it's like he cowered. It's like for the rest of the debate, Obama was almost like he was prowling around the whole room. His stage presence was much better. Big win for him on the first score.
Really? That's funny, because there was one point where I was watching, I can't remember what the subject was. Governor Romney was talking and kind of challenging him. The president stood up, the president sat down. Like he didn't know, am I going to stand up or sit down? And it's almost like you could see their wheels turning, going, okay, I'm going to now look forceful. No,
right.
I'm going to look relaxed now. The second question, who was the most engaging with the audience, both in the studio and at home?
I call this one a bit of a draw, but to be perfectly honest with you, I thought, this was the most partisan group of undecideds I've ever heard of. Okay, these were such Democratic-leaning questions. When that woman asked Mitt Romney, what's the difference between you and George Bush, I swear Obama wrote that question. I think it was a hard situation for Romney, but he should have been more prepared. So I'd say they were about equal. Romney answered some of the people more directly. Obama answered some of the others more directly.
Okay, and then, that was engaging with the audience. So what about who answered instead of dodging the questions? You kind of touched on that right there.
Yeah, I think at the beginning it was Mitt Romney. I thought he answered the economic questions better, but Obama really came on strong. And I'd say the most important really was Libya, and then the 47% question at the end. Obama could have dodged Libya. He could have said, hey, it's Hillary Clinton's fault, I didn't do it. But when he owned it, when he said, look, the buck stops with me, and when he turned to Romney and said, look, those are my people, those are my ambassadors, and we're going to hunt them down, I mean, he answered that question directly. He didn't have to. I was shocked. So I think it was a slight lead for him on answering the questions at the end.
So overall, though, at least in the poll that was taken right afterward, the undecideds, which is really what a candidate would go for right now, like a whopping 48% of them were still undecided. They weren't happy with any of the candidates.
Right.
So what's with this group?
Look, because they're not real. Okay? Like I said, I just don't believe in these undecided voters. You look at most of the polls.
What are you saying? You're saying that people are masquerading as an undecided, but they've already decided?
Yeah, I think people are pretending they're undecided because they like being asked questions. Because, look, if you've been paying attention this long, you can't say that you don't know how you feel. You already know how you feel about Mitt Romney. You already know how you feel about Barack Obama. I think people are just holding out in the end because they want to feel special, they want to feel interesting, but I don't think anyone can watch these two debates, let alone have paid attention all year, and not know how they feel and not know how they're going to vote.
Okay, so in other words, you're saying why have another debate?
Yeah, really, and actually, I don't think, I mean, there's no point at this point. I mean, think about the early voting. Again, from Ohio, so much of the early voting has happened already. No one's going to go back to their voting place and say, oh, I want my vote back because I think Obama did better or worse. People already know. They have their feelings set. This is all, it's a charade at this point.
I have to say that is an independent thought on your thought. I've never heard a pundit say that we can... So let's just have it right now.
Yeah.
Political science professor Jason Johnson, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.